Okay, so we're gonna go swinging up like this with both arms. This is gonna stretch not only your side body, but your psoas in the front a little bit if you turn your hip when you're doing it. And you don't have to go as fast as I'm going. The music's kind of fast, so I'm going pretty fast here, but we're just warming up. What we're gonna be working today is the obliques. And after the song finishes, I'll tell you more about what muscle we're going to be focusing on today in our balance session. Let's go back to the beginning, but we're going to just bend our knees. We're going to bend and stretch this time. So a little bit of a bend and stretch. 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 And more till the music stops. And back to the arms this way. Move shoulders. Move your hips like you're gonna throw a ball across the room. You're gonna just toss the ball. And let's slow it down and get the hips moving in a circle here. Hands on the hips and just move them in a circle. Just warming up the hips, big circles. And reverse the circles. All right. Fantastic. Okay. Last time we did a live, we were focused on a muscle called glute medius. And so that muscle is up over on the side here. It's not the bigger glute, it's on the side of the glute. And we really did some balancing exercises where we were focused on that. And what that muscle will help us do is it'll help us exchange weight from side to side. And it will support our hips staying, our femur bone staying up in the socket. It gives that structure in our hips, that support. So we want to continue to work the glute medius. And I have a few different videos, whether you want to work it when you're standing like we did last time when we did to the side, or if you want to work it where you're lying down and you're doing clamshells. We did some of that too, where you can work it from the side, just depending on how much energy you have that day. Another important muscle of balance is your obliques. Unless we're doing abdominal work pretty frequently, we don't necessarily learn how to contract into these obliques. And a lot of what the contraction provides us is cross-body stabilization. It allows us to use this relationship between the opposite shoulder and opposite hip across the body where there's fascial chains that move in this X pattern. So we're going to work on the obliques from fun standing positions today. And we're going to take it in 1 minute intervals on each side. And then at the end, we're going to go unilateral. We're going to do single-sided, and we're going to really work so we feel that contraction. And then we'll break it up with bilateral movement so that we feel stable in between our next challenge. So without further ado, I'm going to back up and we're going to start. Now, if you're over 75, you definitely want a chair no matter how strong you are. And I don't mean to say I'm not trying to be ageist at all. What ends up happening is that we spend so much time transferring weight from side to side that we're not focused on that specific side of the body and getting that side strong. Also, if you just feel like you haven't had a lot of balance lately, or your health has been off in any way, please use a chair when you're doing this exercise. I'm going to show you with a chair and without a chair, so I'll be doing both. So if you're using a chair, you're going to stay with the same side over and over on that one side. And we're going to do a minute of that side and we'll switch to the other one. If you're not using a chair, you're going to alternate each side. If you're not using a chair, you're going to have your arms in a T and you're gonna come across and you're gonna touch down or close to down on that side and then pull your body back up. So as we do this, we're gonna exhale down and inhale back up. So if you're using a chair, you're gonna consistently go down to the same side and back up. Okay, and I'm timing everyone now. We're going for a minute. And begin. Exhale, inhale, exhale. So you're moving with your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Again, and up. Now try to pull your stomach in when you bend down. Don't let your stomach hang, but let your spine really spiral. Think about the spirals from gyrokinesis, and that you're turning your chest as well as your shoulders towards the side. So make sure your shoulders are actually rotating with your hip. You'll notice the hip bone goes forward as well. Okay, now we're gonna break it up with a bilateral movement for a minute, and then we're gonna go to the other side. For those who alternated, you're gonna repeat for another minute. We're gonna bend our knees in what's called second position in ballet. It's a plie, and our hands are interlaced behind our heads. And we're just gonna side bend, just like we do on the stool, and then slowly come back up. And again, inhale up, exhale, inhale. Now this is not only opening up the one side, it's contracting the other side. And it's doing this to the muscles, the intercostal muscles between the ribs. When we start to go into a slightly different angle, we're gonna get the obliques, but we're just warming up that area so that when we really focus on the obliques, we can feel that contraction happen when we curl. Inhaling up, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's do one more each side. And now you can probably feel your legs as well. And last one, and back up. Beautiful. I'm gonna take my chair to the other side, and we're gonna begin another segment of T position. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale and come over, and inhale up, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale. Again, and up, and up. Exhale, inhale, again, and up, and up. Good, everyone. Really nice form. Again, and up. We're still going. And one more each side. And up. And up. Okay, breaking down this next movement. This is where, again, you can use a chair. If you've got your chair on this side, you're going to be going in one direction here. If you do not need a chair, we're still going to be going single direction so that we can really burn it out. On this one, we're only going to be doing 45 seconds because it's quite a lot of contraction. Now, how do we get that ideal contraction over here? It's all about a exhale as we're doing it. And if you notice how I'm doing my feet, I mean, you can see my desk right there, but what I'm doing with my feet as I'm contracting, if I'm really trying to challenge myself, I'm just touching my toe down. I'm not stepping all the way down. So this would be the most advanced, would be like you would barely be touching the toe down as you're doing this. If you need balance, you're gonna probably drop the leg pretty fast, and that shows you that you need to work on your balance if you can't keep just the leg moving very slowly as it goes back down and back up. And if you want extra stabilization and you have a chair, go ahead and try just to touch your toe down because you've got a chair, so try not to get the whole foot down. So let's begin. And however you want to, you start, you're going to inhale, take a deep breath, and exhale, contract, and coming back up. So you're going to feel that opposition in that contraction. you do want to take your head down into it. So you want to bring your head down and up, and just changing with looking down and looking up can be a challenge for some people. Exhaling, looking at the floor, inhaling. Because when I stop spotting a specific thing in my distance and I have to change my focus, it really challenges that supportive leg. I can feel the opposite leg having to work if I take my eyes off of you guys and look at the ground. Okay, and another side. So you probably felt that. Let's say if you were working, you felt it in your opposite glute medius, and that's what has to stabilize in order to do this exercise. So let's go to the other side. Okay, now for the other side, again, try your best just to touch your toe down if you can, and we'll go 45 seconds here, beginning. That contraction, blow the air out your mouth. Woo! That one was hard. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Opening, expanding, closing, connecting. Forty-five seconds seems like a lot. And rest. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to kick up our legs. You don't need to go that high. However, the higher the better, because that will translate to how you're stepping and being able to lift your knee up if you were going to climb stairs. Okay. So when we're doing it, I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to have my hand on the chair. I'm going to go with the opposite arm. And that same exercise we just did, except instead of elbow to knee, we're going hand, to toe. If you cannot reach your toe, if you have short arms, you're going to reach towards your toe. So you're going to maybe your shin or below your knee. And we're going to do 45 seconds and begin. Exhale. So bringing your body down. Now go ahead and look at your leg when you do it. Again, that's going to challenge your balance more than just spotting. Try to relax your shoulders, open up your armpit. Use the breath to accomplish this motion. Yes, you'll feel it in your quad. Again, that quad is attached to the hip flexor area, to that tendon. Again. Let's do two more. And last one. Let's go to the other side. And we'll begin. Exhaling. Try to keep your legs straight and your arms straight. So opening up those joints releases tension in the hip and shoulder. Open the hand, open the foot. Flexing the foot. Make sure you exhale to lift. So don't just lift and then breathe. Exhale and then lift. Four more times. Bring some life and energy to it and rest. This one's a hacky sack exercise. Who remembers hacky sack? I don't know if anyone's played hacky sack, but people have probably seen people play hacky sack, right? And keeping the ball up. This is a little bit of hand-eye coordination. And so this one's fun. And I'm going to teach it slowly, but once you get it, and if you really want to keep that heart rate going, you can go as fast as you want. It's going to be where we're touching the opposite inside below the ankle. And we're bending down towards it. So we're lifting the foot up. And guess where the challenge is? Guess where it is? It's on putting the leg down. So if I go like this and the leg's just dropping and I don't have any control, that's not the balance. The balance is slowly putting the leg change and change again and change, change, change again and change and change and change again and change and change and change. 4 more and change and change and change and rest. Really, really good. We are going to go into a star position. For those of us who need a chair, have a chair in front of you when you go to the star position, and we're just gonna pick one leg up opposite side like this, where you're balancing from side to side. For those who do not need a chair, you are going, this should feel easier than the first time. So again, same theme where it's an extension from that hacky sack, where instead of bending the leg, now we're straightening it. Again. Four more. Last one, and rest. Going back to the hacky sack one, but this time we're gonna go a little bit faster. Again, being very considerate about how you place your foot, but going a little bit faster, maybe a little bit more energy in it this time. And begin. A little more fun. Think of playing. Like you're playing outside, you're trying to win a game. However, you're conscious of your body, how easy it is on the left side compared to the right side. We're always going to have a side where it feels fluid and a side that feels a little sticky. I think that word is perfect. It's like a sticky feeling inside the joints. It wants to be lubricated with some water, cleaned out, so to speak. Two more. Very good. I like the energy. The next exercise is something that some of you have done, some of you have not done. And I love this exercise. It is what is called an A-frame, and it prepares us to open up the obliques and the hip flexors, two things that we worked today. So I'm going to show you from behind what it looks like, and we will be using the chair again. So from behind, you're lifting, but then you're going to touch the leg over, lift it up, and touch it down. So it's like an A, up, tighten that knee, bring it over, tighten it up, lower it down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's do it on either side, whatever side you'd like. And getting ready, straighten the leg and lift, bring it over, lift and down, up, over, up and down. Keeping the chest really lifted, so don't curl the chest, keep the eyes up when you're doing it. Lift, over, lift and down, lift, over, lift and down. Very good. Lift, over, lift and down, lift, over, lift 4 more times and up, over, up and down, up, over, up and down, up, over, up and down. Last one, up, over, up and rest. Beautiful. Other side. And pull the stomach in, tighten up everything, and when you're ready, begin. Shoulders back, chest up. Up and down, lift it straight up, cross it over, straight up and down. Straight up, cross it over, straight up and down, up, over, up and down, up, over, up and down, up, over, up, and down, up, over, up, and down, over. 4 more times. Up, over, up, and down, and down, over. Last time. And rest. We're gonna move into the stool where we're gonna have a seat. We're just gonna have a seat now. We're gonna open up the lower back because what happens with our bodies when we have anterior pelvic tilt, meaning we tilt our hips forward, we've got to decompress the lower back in order to really keep everything open and loose. Let's begin by placing our hands inside of this organ area. We're going to curl forward and we're just going to move the organs over to the side to really make space for our lower back. Go ahead and curl forward. And you're going to scoop with your hands curling and you're swaying just like we do in seaweed, moving side to side, scooping that tissue up and over, relaxing your shoulders, relax your neck, and use your breath. Allow the fingers to sink in as deep as you can as you're really curling forward. Keep it going. You can move your hands a little bit further down towards the intestines. You should try to stretch your tissue, really pushing your feet down into the ground. And then start very slowly rolling up, palpating down, and then start to massage into the intestines, into the bladder, on the inside of the hip flexors, all the way around. Yep. Just moving the tissue around. Let everything be soft. And then we're going to go really loose fists on the back. So we're opening up the back. Really allowing the back to relax, release. Exhaling out of the mouth. And then right on your hips. Let your hips have a moment of restoration and relaxation after tightening. And then go down the side of the legs. The IT band and the TFL work really hard here to stabilize us when we're balancing. All the way to your knees. Try to allow your muscles just to relax around the bones. One more time, good. Let's open the legs and let's sit up tall. Close your eyes for a moment, still your body, just allow your body to settle. Take a few deep breaths. Take your arms up to the side with a deep breath in. Stretch all the way up towards the ceiling. And then slowly bring your arms back down through the center. Deep breath in, like you're gathering up energy and then washing it all the way over you, just landing in your body. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to unmute everyone.